Yo, everybody, it's your boy Angelo, aka Jello, aka the Inspiration Hunter. Today, let's get into the topic. We're going to go back into the topic of mindset, and today we're going to talk about what it is to have the fearlessness trait. So the trait of fearlessness, and let's get into the proper definition. So now the fact or state of being fearless. So why having the trait of fearlessness is important in winners. Okay, so a person who demonstrates fearlessness is often viewed as a bold person, right? Somebody who puts themselves out there, type of person who doesn't show much anxiety or frustration when it comes to dealing with everyday challenges. So while being fearless is one thing, this is a trait which you don't want to let out of control. People who go overboard, by displaying fearlessness can often lead people into reckless behavior or even dangerous circumstances. So this is also one of those things where you look at the people that you surround yourself with, right? So if I'm surrounding myself with people that aren't serving my purpose or what I'm shooting for, that end result, then obviously I want to take a good look at what they actually have and what factor do they play into my life. So, that for another topic, we talk about dropping anchors, and that's pretty much about getting rid of those reckless people. But getting back on topic here, to be successful in life, you need to demonstrate a solid amount of fearlessness. So if you want to be more confident in your decisions and in your decision-making ability, plus, you don't want to allow others to dissuade your actions or bump you off of your track or your goal or intention that you've set. A fearless person will be strong in their convictions, highly motivated, and they will follow through and make sure they get things done. So this is not the type of individual or mindset where you constantly lead yourself into looking for or subconsciously putting yourself where you're looking for distraction so that you don't get things done. It's the total opposite. You pretty much grab the reins, jump right in, and get stuff done. So even people that demonstrate this trait have some type of fear. Now, fearlessness doesn't mean you don't have the fear. It just means that you're not going to feed into that fear, right? So you can still be scared or fear something, but if you know that whatever it is you're fearing in some way is going to help you grow, then you plow through it. What makes them different is that they don't want to outwardly display this fear. So instead they use fear to their advantage by not allowing it to become an obstacle. Instead, we'll work on finding ways to get around the obstacle, keep pushing right through until we finally get to our intention or our goal. As you know, we like to look for some really cool quotes that embody whatever the topic is. And let's talk about Gandhi for a minute. So Gandhi describes his quote that will describe fearlessness is, "Fearlessness is the first requisite of spirituality. Cowards can never be moral." Unquote. All right. So that's from Mahatma Gandhi. That is exactly an example of a fearless person. Another example would be presidents and leaders of countries who often demonstrate fearlessness. Teddy Roosevelt, John F. Kennedy again. We hear a lot about these guys that, help our country become so great. Respected presidents who demonstrate this trait. This can be seen in the ability and the convictions and confidence that they have when they speak outwardly about their convictions. And this is what helps drive. So Teddy Roosevelt took the view of the president should be the steward of the people. And that's really what a leader should be. Should take whatever actions that were necessary for the good of the people. without breaking the Constitution, right? So he ended up being awarded the Nobel Peace Prize and mediating the Russo-Japanese War. He worked tirelessly on what? Again, his convictions, never allowing that fearlessness to take him from what he knew would be the right thing to do. So as we get towards the end of this, I'm going to throw in a little exercise in here for you guys, and then I'm going to get to some other important things and actually some cool announcements that you might be interested in getting involved in, and maybe you would like to know more about that. I'm going to throw my contact information out there, and feel free to contact and introduce yourself, and I'm always looking to surround myself with like-minded individuals. So here's an exercise, the fearlessness exercise, right? Fear is often a healthy response to true danger, right? So since the earliest days of existence, fear has been vital in keeping us alive. Now that being said, it can also totally hold you back from your potential, right? Your true potential. So misplaced or irrational fear is especially troubling in any efforts in developing a champion's mindset. So much like the first podcast when we talked about persistence of the champion mindset, overcoming fearlessness can really only be attacked head on. One of the first things I suggest is for someone to write down all their fears, then go through that list and write down a reason you shouldn't have that fear. This is quite helpful, and at least it's a starting aspect of putting things in perspective. Like, for instance, let's use thunderstorms. And that would be the fear. And you say, why shouldn't I be afraid? I have been through thousands of thunderstorms with no negative outcomes, right? So if it hasn't been proven to set you back or make you feel like it's a fear, then it's basically it's a perception of it, right? It's the perspective and perception that you hold as being fear. Doesn't necessarily mean it's true. It's just you need to find that thread of what's the word I'm looking for here? That thread of reasonable doubt. Just think like a lawyer for a minute. If you have that reasonable doubt, if you can find that reasonable doubt in that limiting behavior or feeling, then it's not true, right? So you write the fear on one side, just a regular sheet of paper, and then why. Why shouldn't you be afraid? Now this list is a pretty good starting point for anyone who wants to combat their fears. I would even suggest printing it out. I'll try to. Well, let me put it this way: this podcast and everything that I'm putting together is actually something that will be made available at some point. I will let you guys know, and I really appreciate you taking this information and use it as you will. Okay, and make the list out. Obviously, I haven't sent you a PDF yet, but make the list out. And the next time you're faced with fear from that list, take it out, and it will offer you a quick reminder of why it is not rational, or why it is irrational, and why it is just a story, right? It is a perceived fear. You can't just make the list and hope that you're going to conquer your fears, right? You need to face them. So choose one, just one, that's all it takes. Fear from the above, whatever the list is, or whatever sheet of paper that you wrote it on, and dedicate this week or that time period to combating that fear. So don't move forward until you've chosen a fear that you decided, you know what, I'm going to, darn it, I'm just going to bear down and get through this. Write it down. It's all about taking action. Make a date, maybe. The term as soon as possible, okay? We like to use that in our culture a lot and just all over the place. As soon as possible. I'll get back to you as soon as possible. ASAP. That is such a poison. Include something specific, something you want to reach for. I don't care how short it is, how long it is. Pick a date. You must confront that fear. I know a lot of folks that are afraid of heights. Maybe that's a fear. Maybe you'll go for a walk with a friend on a bridge, and you'll actually learn how to get over that fear. So you're going to make this list. And then pick a fear that you're going to focus on. So you're going to make another little space in between the fear and the fear side and the why shouldn't I be afraid side. And then underneath that, write fear to focus on. And I'll use an example. I will focus on my fear of public speaking. Now, currently, I do not have a fear of public speaking. Actually, I look forward to getting in front of people because I just love the interaction. But years ago, the plan of action for me was I will write and present a speech to someone other than someone that I know, family or whatever. If I can't find an audience, I'll film it and put it on YouTube. Okay, that is definitely a good way to get out of that fear. And if you've listened to this podcast and you've gone to Facebook and you've searched the Inspiration Hunter, there is a fan page there that feel free to friend me. Love to get your insight on mindset and what you're looking to get out of your 2016 year or out of the long-term intentions that you've set for yourself. And since we are here, oh yeah, I'm sorry. And then at the end of that, right, you have fear to focus on, plan of action, and then a due date. All right, that's it. So that's it for the trait of fearlessness. So let me give you a little bit of information going forward right now. And this information is, I want you to share this information. So here is the contact email that you can feel free to reach out, and also the Facebook page. Facebook page is the Inspiration Hunter. Just type that into the search, or just look up Angelo Hunter, and you'll be able to see my home page or personal page, and also the fan page. Pick the fan page, the Inspiration Hunter, because that's most of the time all the posts and videos that I do and things that I publish. And also check out lifestylefitforchampions.com, lifestylefitforchampions.com. And the email to that particular blog is fitlifechampions@gmail. Fitlifechampions@gmail is the actual contact email that you can reach me at. So one other order of business that we're going to be talking about here is that I've been developing and putting together now. I already have several folks involved in this, and if you would like to be involved, reach out to me either email, or you feel free to go on to the Inspiration Hunter page on Facebook, and there is an application link. And what this application link entails is I put together a little program for 6 weeks. It is a low-cost investment, all right? And I'm not looking for anyone who's just looking for workouts. It's an all-encompassed mindset and sustainable fitness lifestyle coaching. And what I'm really looking to do here is get people involved in a way where we're not just looking at the short term. We're looking at the long-term effect that fitness has on your life. And we want to introduce all these traits that I've been talking about. Now, I know some folks are probably listening and probably saying that, but this is just like foo-foo stuff that I can get off the internet. Sure it is. That's great. But do you have someone that's going to keep you accountable? And this is what it's about, accountability. And it's also, you get to get a different insight of the things that I've learned over the years and the things that I continually learn. And one of these things is creating a sustainable lifestyle does not mean yo-yoing and going back to old behaviors that'll sabotage your success. So what we're going to do is it's going to be workouts, exercises. I worked with a registered holistic nutritionist where the meal plans are 100% gluten-free, and we have a food swap list. That was a must because, as we all know, when you first start a program, what happens to you on the program is you start it, and then several weeks later you lose that passion or that intensity towards the program. Because one usually happens is that it's very tough to stay involved in what you're doing, and usually we buy programs and there's nobody on the other end. With this, I am on the other end the whole entire time. So what's going to happen is that we will have a private Facebook group. We'll do some coaching calls. I'm going to make sure that I reach out to each and every person that's involved with it, and we do a one-on-one and making sure that you're on the right track to the success that you wish to have in your life. Now, I know a lot of people are talking about weight loss and things of that nature. Weight loss is great, but you can never out-goal set a bad mindset. And what I mean by bad mindset is that you are not aware of the things that are sabotaging you. You get really gung-ho, you start the program, and then by week 3, you just fade out or you're asking for a refund. I want people that are serious. I want people that love life. I want people to understand that this is not a type of program where you're going to see me for that day only. I give you the workout and you go off and DIY or do it yourself and just to fall off the wagon. I want to create a group of folks that are going to preach the importance of the sustainability of having a fitness lifestyle. Now, the fitness lifestyle is all encompassing, right? The mindset goes along with the body goes along with the mindset. So when you get over these humps, it's always nice to have an individual that has been on the other side. And what I mean by the other side, I mean has had weight issues, has had health issues, has worked with people that have extreme health issues as far as cancer, bad back. You're going to meet someone in a couple of weeks that I worked with who has totally changed her mindset and is doing great things with her life and her career. So this is not about me trying to push, the snake oil and the six-pack abs and all that ridiculous crap. This is about creating an awareness about what it is to have a balanced mindset or a positive mindset, an aware mindset, a dynamic mindset that moves and flows with problems and issues. Now, look, things are not always peaches and cream, and life is not easy. But when you have somebody working with you that really gives 100% and really cares about people in general, I think that anyone can do anything. And I've seen it, and you will meet the people that have put me in the direction of producing some content for you guys and making sure that I'm doing what I was intended to do on this earth, and that is to help people, whether it's through the music that I play, making people happy, or just making people smile, or creating programs that actually lead to a full abundance of sustainable patterns in your life. And that brings me to the special guests. So we'll have a special guest that I used to train that will also be on this program. And by the way, the program starts on February, next Wednesday, February 3rd. So if you're interested and you're listening to this podcast, go to the Facebook, not the website, because the website's not full live. This is actually a beta test. So go to Facebook, look up the Inspiration Hunter, or even better, go to fitlifechampions@gmail and drop a line. I would love to link up with you and learn some about you and see where you're at and see if I may be able to help you. And look, even if you're not interested in the program that I'm offering and the things that I do, if there's something immediately that I can help you with, by all means, just reach out. Okay? I'm a real person. This is not a robot voice. And I think I'm almost done. So special guests are coming. The next topic, and remember, this is a bi-weekly podcast, so the next topic will be on the trait of thinking before you speak. And if you know the old adage, loose lips sink ships, then this is a good one for you to listen to. So I will reach out to you guys and do another podcast in about 2 weeks. I might, and I'll let you know if there's something special coming along the trail here. I'm very excited, and I'm happy to share the things that I'm learning, and I would love to learn a little bit about what you're doing to maintain that sustainable fitness lifestyle, or your goals or expectations you have for yourself, or things that you want to do to extend a helping hand to others. And that's what it's really all about, right? Helping others be successful in whatever it is. And look, the only reason why things seem impossible is because maybe you just didn't have the right group of folks to hang out with. And that's what this is all about. So once again, this is Angelo Hunter, a.k.a. you. And I truly appreciate you downloading or just listening to this podcast. And I look forward to meeting some of you. And have a wonderful weekend. God bless. Much love, much respect. Let's learn, let's live, let's laugh together. And most importantly, let's become inspired from within. Let's do great things, y'all. Talk to you soon. Take care.